You are now tuned into another episode of Brilliant Conversations with Bianca. And so today I want to talk about just some of the conversations that I'm having with clients. Like right now, it's time for us to kind of just regroup, reposition, and just refocus, right? And so I have been on social media for this entire month. I usually do it around this time. My social media manager is not running anything. It's like we are a ghost and we have gone. I take social media breaks a lot, but you would never know because my social media manager is still posting and showing up and commenting and doing all the things. But during this season and this period of time, we're focused on other things, and I need her manpower for the things that we're focusing on. And so it's kind of like it's nothing new that is coming out, right? And so I do that on purpose. And so I kind of want to just kind of take you through this journey of what I work on when I am going through this season in this period, and I do it every single year. And so let's talk about what I'm talking about right now with clients. That's why I wanted to do this episode because I'm talking to all of my current clients and old clients that want to be new clients. And so as we're talking about these situations, I'll do a quick episode to just give you a little tidbits and tell you what you need to be thinking about and working on. And then hopefully, I can help you work on it together like I'm working on it with my current clients, right? So what I want to talk about today is income drivers. Like what are your income drivers, aka income injections in your business, right? What are your income injections in your business? And an income injection really is just products or services that you have ready to go that align with what you're already doing so that you can make some quick, fast money without a lot of wear and tear on you and without repositioning what you're trying to launch. The income drivers, like what you're launching throughout the entire year. So for me, right, I do strategic planning. I'm a business consultant. The money for me is in the plan. You have no plan, you have no roadmap. Everything starts with a plan, and I want to be the person that creates the overall strategic plan and the motion and movement for you, your business, your products, your services, your brand, the entire thing, right? Because me being a business strategy consultant, I'm a business architect, right? I'm in the business of building businesses, but I only build certain type of businesses, which are the lifestyle hybrid business models, where we have really figured out what's important to us and we have wrapped our products and services in motion around those things. So we don't have just one thing. Most people say, like, in order to be a coach or consultant, just sell digital. In order to be a coach and consultant, just do high ticket. In order to be a coach and consultant, I just do corporate clients. In order to be a coach and consultant, I just do government or I just do affiliate marketing or I just do one-on-one. In what I build, we do all of the things, right? We have the corporate, the government, the digital products, the affiliate marketing, the one-on-one, the membership. We have all of the things because my client is paid and popular. I know most people will be like, oh, as long as I'm paid, I don't care about being popular. That's not my ideal client. It might be my target market because they buy my products, but my ideal client is paid and popular. And we'll get to that in another episode, but let's stay on track because I like to talk. As you are building this entire infrastructure of your business, you have a profit plan. I hope you do, right? And as a client, I would build a profit plan. Like everybody's goal is $100,000. I don't know why that's the like number one goal for most businesses when they start out. So let's just say your goal is $100,000 for the year. Well, that's $8,333, a month. How are you going to make that? So you have your products and services, right? That you say like, quarter one, I'm launching this, quarter two, I'm launching this. What I did quarter one should weave those clients into quarter four, quarter two should weave the clients, into quarter three, whatever the case might be. And I'm just hypothetically speaking that I'm hoping that what you're launching and how you're gonna make up this money because you don't even have anything for $100,000. So it's not like a person can just talk to you and get $100,000, you know. It's different products and services that make up that number that you are looking for, okay? So let's just say, hopefully, you know how you're going to make your number. Now that we know how we're going to make our number, we need some income injections ready to go. That means that the sales page is ready. We kind of know who we talking to. We know how much we want. And so an example of that could be maybe I'm doing pitch to corporations, right? And usually pitch to corporations is a 2 day, 6, 7 hour intensive online where we're online all day. I'm giving you, the facts, the forms, the figures, everything on how to pitch to corporations, right? Well, I might do an income driver and an income injection and say, you know what, since I'm already working with people for pitch to corporations and I know I'm launching that, maybe the week before that, I can do a training for $49 on, 5 places to find corporate clients. And here's a script, right? Make that could be an income injection, right? It aligns with what I'm already doing already, but I'm not teaching that inside of the program. Or I might be teaching it, right? That might be a lead in, like, okay, if you like this, right, you might want to come to my 2 day intensive on pitching to corporations because we'll go over blah, 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 blah. That might be my lead in, right, that I use. So, another example could be maybe I used to help people, right, get ready for like pitch competitions. That used to be my thing. Elevator pitch is will always be my thing. If you don't know who you talk to, why you talk to them, what you talk to them for, and all of those things, then you ain't really on a ball. And your elevator pitch is the nucleus of your business, right? It lays the foundation of what we do over here. So I might be doing a, training on if you're looking to, get into doing pitch competitions, you know, pitch competition one-on-one, this is the facts, form, and figure and framework that you should have, right? So maybe that's the thing that I have. Remember, we talked about in our profit plan. If I'm trying to make $8,333, that training on how to get into pitch competitions, that's already in my plan, that's already in my workflow. I'm already going to launch that. But I might do an income injection and say, you know what, well, in order to even be in a running to be at a pitch competition, like you have to have an elevator pitch. So maybe I do a 3 day training on how to create an elevator pitch that lead to clients, checks, and contracts. And maybe that is, $59, right? And so I'll do that, and then that could either lead me into, now that you have this and you know it, maybe you want to go into now figuring out how to do a pitch competition, or that might not be my upsell for that. I might not have an upsell or a cross sell for that. I might just want to do that and have that stand alone because if you don't have no elevator pitch in order, you're probably not in a running to be in a pitch competition. So for me, I like to make sure that I prepare the audience before they go to the main thing that I'm trying to offer. Like I know most people will be like, "Oh, just come over here, you'll eventually need it." And that is true. Before I was on the level that I was on and I was starting out, I was in a lot of courses, classes, and trainings that I'm not gonna say I had no business being in it, but I could have used my money in a different way, right? Like the information was good, but I really couldn't use it at the time. The caveat to that is I already had the information from going into rooms that I was not ready for. But when I started to get in those rooms, I was already 7 steps ahead of the game because I had already learned this 2, 3 years ago. So it's really about, how you see it. I like to jump in the water and figure it out. I like to make the type of investments. I like to not be the smartest person in the room. So it kind of work out for me, but somebody else, you might be a person that I need to see a return on my investment today. If I pay some money today, I need to see the return on my investment today. Needless to say, that's not my client either, but I'm just saying if that might be you, then you going 4 or 5 steps ahead, you're not going to probably see a return on an investment for that for a very long time. So income injections. Income injections are these small bursts of money generating activities that you can inject into what you already have going on so it don't look like you all over the place. There's no reason why I would be doing a training on how to pitch the corporations and I'm trying to tell you how to get your online digital product store ready. That doesn't go together, right? So the income injection has to be a really good cross sell, right? So what it is that you're doing, it has to complement what you're already doing. And so I've been working with clients like we already have the strategic plan already, and you already know what you're launching. But right now, we can put in some really good income injections to what you already have going on and you don't have to find a new market, new people, new anything because we already have the audience and the people who would be willing to invest in that. Also, income injections are not high ticket, like they're not expensive. They're kind of like no brainers. Like, you know what? I've been really like, okay, I've been hearing about elevator pitch. I've been watching it online. I really don't know what my elevator pitch is, but I know it's something that I need. Okay, let me go ahead and get this girl $59, to come to this challenge or this training. So they're not expensive. They're very much so oh, let me throw a couple dollars at it. Well, those couple dollars could be an extra two, $3,000 for you. So if let's just say based on your profit plan and your launch efforts, if your goal is $8,333 and you only got, 5,000, then this income injection could give you that boost to get to your number, right? So the income injections are these small pushes that we add to the mix of what we already have going on to complement it. Because most of the time when we're launching to talk to our ideal client, right? The people who got the money that we want to work with. But those income injections can bring an audience of people who do want to work with you. But their money is just not there yet, but they see value in it and they want to invest in it, right? So that I used to do a lot of income injections to bring in new people to your ecosystem because you might have one big launch that you do once a year, even though you launch all year round. At the end of the year, you might have one big thing that you're launching and you need new people to come into it. Well, you ramping up on your income injections could bring those people in. And I'm not in the business of building an email list of just people that just want free and free and free and free. And we'll talk about that in other episodes. But you people want value and people will pay for value. And if you show up and showcase the value, then they have no choice but to say yay or nay. But the value is of a fee. So if you show up and showcase value, and for that value, you put a dollar amount behind it, those people that see value in it will purchase. Those people that don't see value in it won't purchase. But we have that like little silver lining of people who see value in it, they will purchase but they don't have that type of money yet. So that kind of income injection is kind of for that sweet middle, spot. Like they don't have a whole bunch of money, but they got a couple dollars and to invest. Those people will usually be the people that will become the client that can invest on that type of level. So I want you to think about those income injections based on your business, based on what you sell, based on what it is that you do. What income injections can you add to what you already have going on? And it's not a huge marketing campaign. It's not a huge budget. You ain't paying a designer to design a whole new website. This is, we can kind of build all of this on our own. Like we can build a quick landing page, we can build a quick cart, we can build, a quick lead magnet. Like this income injection is something we can do on our own because it would be in alignment with what we already have going on, right? So think about those income injections. Those income injections can take your revenue to the next level. If you have, six income injections that you do throughout the year and just keep it all the way a buck, those income injections if you do them correctly, most of the time when people, we know when a person's rent is due and they don't have the money because they selling everything under the sun. It's a 90% off. They're overly aggressive. They're very pushy, and it's giving sleazy salesperson. But if you do your income injection right, how I would train you to do it and how I would set up the plan to do it, it just seemed like, you know what I'm saying? It's just an automatic flow. You know what Like, hey, I've been thinking about this, since I, know this is the season for people to be doing it. I want to do blah, blah, blah on this type of day. This is investment for it. Like I sell every day and I am really good without selling without being salesy. But I'm also a consultative seller. And so how I sell it and how I position it is just my everyday flow of me showing up to showcase value, right? So if you have this showcasing value workflow thing down packed, then it will just flow seamlessly and it will not be a hard push. The other thing about income injections is if your income injection does right and you get the revenue, it might be just a thing that you always do. You know how Starbucks, how they have like their seasonal items, right? Well, if the seasonal item does good, it ain't seasonal no more. It's on the menu all the time. Caramel macchiato started off like that. It's just a seasonal item and it started to do good and I was on it. I know they cheese Danish. That was just like a seasonal thing that they were supposed to do. It did good, like, and it was just now that's their thing. Those are income injections. Like we have our normal, regular scheduled menu of what it is that we do, but we're throwing these extra things in. Pumpkin spice. I hate pumpkin spice, but hey, pumpkin spice people, I don't have nothing against y'all. Pumpkin spice is a income injection, right? But since it so many people like it, remember pumpkin spice usually didn't start till October. They start pumpkin spice in August, right? That's their income injection that they tried out. It became very popular. They don't sell it all year around, but instead of it being an October thing, it starts in August, right? So your injections, if you pay attention to it the right way, it can really boost your revenue, give you a whole like segment of new people and new money because that's what we focus on, right? We want new money, but not necessarily from new people. 87% of my clientele is repeat clientele. So I get new money all the time, but it be from old people that's been giving me some money. And we could talk about that another day. But this episode, and I'm trying to keep them under 20 minutes because, I like to talk and I like to like, give you boom. But the moral of the story is what I want you to take away from this is think about your income injections. Think about what you already have going, what's already in the works. What are something, and I only work with coaches and consultants, right? Those in professional services, those that get paid for their intellectual property, thought leaders and experts in their industry, right? We not selling a mug or a phone, right? We're selling our intellectual property. So that is who I talk to, who I work with, right? You already have what you sell already. Your income injection, and you know how you get bored with some of the things in your business like it's the things you always sell. You get kind of bored. This is the way to kind of spice it up because we are never taking a Big Mac off of the menu. That's what sells. That's what pay the bills. That's what people like. So we're never taking a Big Mac off the menu, but we kind of bored with the Big Mac. So we'll come up with something new and spicy. Something real cute and put that on the menu. Give us a little razzle dazzle. So that's what we're doing. We're getting a little extra razzle dazzle into what we're already doing and seeing if that work. If it stick and it work, it might be on the menu all the time. Or instead of you doing it one time a year for an income injection, it might be 4 times. So I want you to think about these income injections. If you would like to work with me, which I hope you do, I'm doing these 90-minute profit positioning analysis where in that 90 minutes we work on a couple of different things, but we can curate that first 60 minutes on what is the main focus. A lot of people have been focusing on income injections. A lot of people have been focusing on building their elevator pitch. Like that first kind of 60 minutes we can do whatever it is you want to do, but then we're going to get to what I want to do. And maybe you want to do your income injections, which would be a good way to boost your revenue in your overall business. So if that is something that you're interested in, absolutely positively, reach out to me, admin at Kate and K Consultant, and you can reach out to me and we can figure this thing out. But as always, thank you guys for listening, and we will be back with another episode soon. Bye.